The film opens in a crowded open-air market in Honolulu. Walter Hale moves through the sea of tourists and locals, his eyes darting nervously as he attempts to blend into the crowd. He repeatedly looks over his shoulder, sensing a presence he can't quite see. Reaching a small, tucked-away postal kiosk, he quickly slides a padded envelope into the slot. A visible wave of relief washes over him as the package is finally out of his hands. However, as he exits the market onto a quieter side street, the sense of safety is shattered. A blue van that had been idling nearby suddenly roars to life, accelerating with lethal precision. The vehicle strikes Walter at full speed, tossing him onto the pavement. In a chilling moment of silence, the van doesn't speed off immediately. It idles just feet away from his broken body, the driver seemingly watching to confirm Walter is alive. Only after a cold, mechanical pause does the van peel away, leaving him on the ground. The scene shifts to a naval base where James, a stoic Navy SEAL, is leading grueling underwater training for new recruits. Emerging from the pool, dripping and disciplined, he is told he has an urgent call. On the phone, he receives the news of Walter's death with a stony, unreadable expression. He returns home to his wife, Layla, who offers her condolences, but when she suggests he call his brother Johnny, James is visibly reluctant, preferring to leave the past buried. Taking matters into her own hands, Layla calls Johnny to deliver the news and insists he fly to Hawaii for the burial. In Oklahoma, Johnny, a volatile detective currently suspended from the force, listens with total apathy, surrounded by the mess of his house. However, his indifference is cut short when a squad of Yakuza assassins storms his home, demanding the package Walter supposedly sent. Johnny's lethargy vanishes. He moves with the precise, lethal speed of a man with nothing to lose, taking out each assassin in a swift, brutal manner. Realizing the Yakuza's involvement means his father's accident was a hit, his curiosity is finally piqued. He decides to head to Hawaii, not for the funeral, but to investigate the conspiracy that just landed on his doorstep. Johnny arrives in Hawaii for the funeral, looking like a fish out of water in his leather vest. The tension is palpable when he reunites with James at the service. We meet James's wife, Layla, and their children, who represent the stability Johnny never had. Their cousin Nanny, an aide to Governor Peter Mayhew, tries to keep the peace, but the brothers can barely stand to be in the same zip code, let alone the same space. Johnny shatters the polite atmosphere. He looks the governor directly in the eye and tells the table he's convinced his father's death was a calculated execution, not a random accident. He recounts the brutal efficiency of the Yakuza hit squad that stormed his Oklahoma home just days prior, describing how they came for a package Walter supposedly sent. James tries to shut him down, calling it a hit and run, but Johnny doesn't flinch. He argues that the Yakuza don't fly to the Midwest for no reason. Johnny arrives at Walter's ransacked apartment, his detective eyes scanning the chaos for anything the Yakuza missed. The door creaks open and Pika, Walter's eccentric tech assistant, walks in. Startled by Johnny's presence, Pika's fight-or-flight response kicks in. He chooses flight. What follows is a high-stakes foot chase as Pika leaps out a window and begins sprinting across the corrugated metal roofs of the surrounding neighborhood. Johnny, despite his heavier frame, keeps pace with a gritty, relentless energy. The chase ends when Johnny corners Pika on a narrow ledge. In the heat of the struggle, Johnny accidentally breaks Pika's nose to get him to stay put. Back in the apartment, a bleeding Pika is interrogated. Johnny notices one of Walter's old surfboards looking off. He opens the fiberglass shell, revealing blueprints for a massive, illegal casino project spearheaded by billionaire Marcus Robichaux. Just as the discovery is made, James kicks the door in, having tracked his father's last known clients. After a brief standoff where the brothers nearly come to blows, they realize they have the same target. They hatch a plan to infiltrate Robichaux's high-end fundraiser not as guests, but by donning uniforms to work as the catering staff, blending into the background while they scope out the enemy. Johnny uses his rough charm to slide into the orbit of Monica, Robichaux's wife, who seems more afraid of her husband than she lets on. Meanwhile, James, utilizing his SEAL training, spots the Yakuza leader, Nakamura. They have a brief discussion. Their attempt at blending in is short-lived. James's tactical awareness and Johnny's aggressive questioning soon draw the attention of the private security detail. Before they can slip away, they are intercepted by some men who, politely, escort them away from the champagne and down a marble-floored hallway toward a pair of heavy mahogany doors. Inside the soundproofed office, Marcus Robichaux sits behind a desk made of reclaimed koa wood, looking every bit the untouchable mogul. He addresses them with a cold, patronizing familiarity, acknowledging their father's unfortunate passing, while making it clear he knows exactly who they are, the disgraced cop and the career soldier. Robichaux warns them that Hawaii is a small island where noise is unwelcome, suggesting that their investigation is a clumsy insult to Walter's memory. He offers a veiled threat disguised as a payout, hinting that their father's debts died with him, and they should leave the island before they inherit those same liabilities. However, the mission goes sideways the next day when Johnny goes to meet Monica for a secret handoff of information, only to find her dead. Framed for the murder and arrested, Johnny is brutally beaten by Robichaux's private security before being thrown into a local cell. After James pulls high-level military strings to get him out, the brothers' suppressed rage boils over into a massive, mud-soaked fistfight outside the station. During the brawl, Johnny reveals his obsession with the case stems from his failure to solve his mother's murder. James counters with the truth that he sent Johnny away years ago to protect him from this syndicate crime group. This revelation begins to bridge their estrangement. Nanny helps the brothers decipher the blueprints. They realize the casino is slated for Hawaiian homelands, currently occupied by a tight-knit local community. A call from Oklahoma breaks the tension. Johnny's ex, Valentina, reveals that the package Walter sent finally arrived. It was delayed by a mail routing error. Valentina flies to Hawaii to deliver it personally. They find a nondescript flash drive. Pika helps them crack the drive's encryption, while Valentina interprets the information in the flash drive. It's a security key for a massive digital wallet containing millions in cryptocurrency. More importantly, it contains a ledger of donations to Governor Mayhew. They realize the governor isn't a family friend. He's the architect of the corruption, taking bribes from Robichaux and the Yakuza to bypass land protection laws. Walter was killed because he had the digital evidence to bankrupt them all. The Yakuza launch a full-scale assault to reclaim the drive, leading to a high-speed chase through Honolulu. The brothers finally fight as a synchronized unit, using a mix of SEAL precision and cop instinct to repel the attack. After narrowly escaping, they realize Robichaux has kidnapped Layla and Nanny. He demands the flash drive in exchange for their lives. James goes into full operator mode, and Johnny follows his lead. They take their time prepping an arsenal. Armed to the teeth with James's tactical gear and Johnny's street brawl mentality, the wrecking crew storms Robichaux's estate. The brothers use tactical breaches to take out the perimeter. They rescue Layla and Nanny. In a brutal showdown, James kills Nakamura in a display of martial arts mastery. Johnny hunts down Robichaux. After a desperate struggle, the developer is neutralized. They ensure the evidence against the governor is made public. In the aftermath, Governor Mayhew is seen being led away in handcuffs, his political legacy in ruins. The community land is saved. The local crime group, the Syndicate, makes a surprising move. Their leader meets Johnny and hands him a slip of paper with the name of his mother's killer, a gesture of professional respect for removing the Yakuza competition. Johnny stands over a small barbecue grill on the beach, looking at the name on the paper. In a moment of growth, he realizes that vengeance has kept him frozen in the past. He drops the paper into the flames, choosing his living brother over his dead enemies. James joins him, and they share a silent moment of reconciliation, finally at peace with their father's complicated legacy.